I think if you don't have a church you can go to and believe in and trust, then I guess you look for love in the wrong places.
I'm Tamara.
I'm Brian.
We're the Kays, and we've been coming to Springs for coming up to 3 years now. We'd attended a couple different churches after moving to Calgary. The last church where we were actually married, we'd attended a long time, and it was very dear to us. We were very close to the pastor and his family, and on a Sunday morning, church officials got up and announced that the pastor had been fired, and we were blindsided and devastated, and we got up and went home, and we never went back. For 3 years, we never darkened the door of a church.
I'm an engineer and I like to put things into categories. I don't trust the church, I don't trust any church. And like Tamara said, 3 years passed, and we had our faith in God, and we were happy with that, but something was really missing.
We were lonely, and we didn't really belong anywhere. And so we started really hanging out with family. And it wasn't very long. It was, can you loan us money for this? And we need money for that. And after we had managed to loan a small fortune, we said, we can't do it anymore. No more money. And that was it. We kind of thought, wow, that's where you're supposed to belong. That's where the love is supposed to come from, as family.
I think we wanted love,
Yeah.
and we thought we had to earn it, and the easiest way for us to do it was to hand out money.
On February 11th, 2017, we had shut our phones off and gone to bed that night, and our son had gone skiing for the weekend, and about 10 o'clock I turned on my phone, and there was something like 27 phone calls trying to get a hold of me by our son's best friend, and he'd been in a pretty serious skiing accident. They were loading him on the helicopter. For 2.5 hours there we were at Foothills Hospital, sitting, waiting, knowing nothing. And I was sitting there and I thought, I don't even have a church family I can call and say, pray. We don't know where he's at. Over the radio at the nurse's station, they said that the patient on the helicopter had died. And we just, we went to pieces. And he didn't die. It wasn't our son, it was a different patient. But as a parent, boy, you feel your world drop. And something in me just went, that's enough, I've had enough. I'm not doing this life without continually growing in God. One night I was laying on the sofa and I couldn't sleep, and I thought, I'm going to find a church and I'm going whether anybody else comes with me or not.
I'd made my mind up forever I was never going to go back to church. I mean, I'm done. Someone I respected very much and trusted had lied to me, and why should I ever trust a church anymore? But because Tam and I do things together, I thought, okay, I'll attend one service.
So February 11th, 2018, a year to the day of our son's accident, we walked through the doors at Springs, and it was like coming home. We were welcomed, and it was, Pastor David was preaching that morning, and he was funny and entertaining, but he had a message.
And it was just the way it was delivered, and it was, it spoke deeply inside me, not to me intellectually, but more to what we've learned, I guess, in the heart. It went directly into my heart. And I recognized at that point there's something had been very much missing. Kind of like a colorblind man suddenly sees the color red. It's, you know, wow, this is something I've been missing. And I gave my life to Christ, to God. I just went, it not only feels right, but it's something I need to do. And it was such an overwhelming thing with everything we'd been through and the heartache of the other church. It was just, everything just integrated together.
Over the next weeks, we never went anywhere else. We just stayed with Springs, and we'd couldn't wait to get here on Sunday mornings because there was always something that got us through the week, right? It was just, and I loved that it was upbeat and it was positive and it was always, always backed up with the Word. I never heard faith taught like this, grace explained like this, righteousness freely given. It was always rules and regulations and earning your way. It was never like we hear here. Our son, he made a full recovery. It took a good year. He went back to university and he graduated in 2019 in engineering, electrical engineering.
The family here at church, they don't judge you, and the forgiveness and the acceptance is we haven't seen that anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it seems to be not only in the culture, but I think people would take the culture outside the church and spread it in the world, in the community.
When we met both Leon and Sally and the families, and everybody is invested here. They're invested in God, and God's invested in them, and there's a love even between Leon and Sally that you see right away. You can tell when God is alive and well in a church, and He's alive here, He's well. You can feel Him. You can see Him in the people. You can see Him in the leadership.
We're here.
We're here.
We're never leaving.
We found a home. We found a home, and when you find a home, you belong, you stay.